Greetings everyone, I am RSV. Can the Meteorn defeat Elder? Now a lot of people might hear that, scoff and think immediately, no way, that the weak Meteorn can defeat Elder when the Meteorn struggles to even bring Dark Falls down. Well, the true answer to this question is a bit more complicated than just that, and I'm going to break it down into categories. But first, can the Meteorn defeat Falls Hyunal, or Elder's small form? And well, the answer in this question I think is yes, but with one caveat, and that caveat applies to fighting Big Elder as well, and that caveat is F factor. You see, the Meteorn's durability isn't really in question here. I do not only think that the Meteorn can survive a hit from Little Elder and Big Elder, I do actually think that if the Meteorn is able to do damage to Elder, then the Meteorn will be able to evade and outlast Elder. If this wasn't the case, a lot more Arcs defenders would have died, and basically no one on our ship that we are aware of died when fighting Elder. Because there are Arcs defenders on the Arc ships that are strictly weaker than the Meteorn, in our ship especially. While we don't know which Arcs defenders died elsewhere on other ships, this point still remains because the entire Arcs fleet was mobilized against Elder. So the question really here ends up being, can the Meteorn survive the F factor buildup of being in close proximity with Elder? And well, this is a tricky question to answer. We haven't gotten any emotional events for the Meteorn quite yet. Sure, Garoa disappeared at the start of the game, however, it is unclear if that would emotionally affect the Meteorn. Maybe it would make the Meteorn mad, but that's it. And well, we do know those negative emotions build up F factor, but that's really the thing here. We don't have any display of the Meteorn really dealing with F factor. In fact, if these dolls do not have F factor, it is possible the F factor will immediately overtake the Meteorn. Though there is one counter argument to that. It is possible that the generations of Arcs defenders after the Falls Crisis all have abnormally high F factor resistance, but that is just usually how the passing of genes goes. And if the Meteorn does end up being the Guardian, which is, I remind you, very much in question, then yes, the Meteorn would have the F factor resistance to defeat Elder. That is the caveat. But what about the other two categories? Well, the first category here is really output, and I will say output versus endurance, which is the other category. The higher the Meteorn's output, the lower the Meteorn's endurance has to be. Every player, especially speedrunners, know, even if they're really good at a game, they'll eventually make a mistake, and this is part of endurance. But in the case of the Meteorn, it is likely that they will get tired after fighting for a period of time. We don't know exactly how long that period of time is, but we do know it's longer than the time it takes to defeat the Dark Falls, as the Meteorn isn't exactly tired after that fight. In fact, the Meteorn barely shows any signs of wear and tear from that Dark Falls fight, so we can surmise that the Meteorn has a really high endurance level that possibly puts it above Elder. Why do I say that though? It is probably universally agreed that Dark Falls in NGS is weaker than Elder in base game. Well, I want to challenge that for a little bit. The strongest aggression feat of both of them is freezing a location. Granted, Elder froze a much larger location than Dark Falls in NGS did, which is a hint that Dark Falls Elder is stronger. However, it's important to keep in mind that due to Elder's personality, Elder will act rashly. So just because Elder is more powerful than Dark Falls in NGS, Dark Falls in NGS may be more intelligent. However, I will say NGS Dark Falls has a wider array of attacks than Elder. In fact, a Guardian that had fought Dark Falls and repelled it before is probably perfectly prepared to fight Elder. There is probably nothing that Elder can throw at the Meteorn after fighting Dark Falls that would surprise the Meteorn. So we can surmise by this that the Meteorn could probably at least hold off Elder for a substantial period of time. Maybe not defeat it though, because here's the primary problem about the matchup between Elder and the Meteorn. Can the Meteorn do enough damage to repel Elder? And I do say repel, because the Guardian in base game doesn't actually defeat Elder in any of their engagements themselves. It's Gemini that ultimately ends Elder's existence. So, do I think the Meteorn has the output to repel Elder? If the Meteorn was put into the same position that the Guardian was, potentially. In a straight up fight against Elder though, definitely not. Keep in mind that the Guardian was fighting an Elder that had already destroyed a portion of the Arcs fleet. It is possible that Elder was weakened from damage sustained from those ships, and it is debatable whether or not the Guardian would have defeated a full power Elder as well, at least in that episode. Because pretty much at the start of episode 2, it is pretty clear that Guardian could have turned around and bopped Elder. but before that point it is debatable. So what's the answer to this conundrum? Well, my personal opinion is yes, the Meteorn could repel Elder, unless that one caveat is true. The Meteorn would immediately fall to F Factor, and well, if the Meteorn falls to F Factor, there's no way that the Meteorn can defeat Elder. I have posted a poll for this video, and would like to see what everyone thinks. Can the Meteorn defeat Elder? But I've been RSV, and I'll see you next time.